As soon as that says it's recording, we will start. Okay, we're recording now. Awesome, guys. All right, welcome. Geez, we're in week 3. We got this block's flying by. I mean, after this, we only have like 2 more weeks that we meet, and then you guys need to get everything caught up and ready to go. If you are a senior, you need to be done sooner. I think it's around the 20th of May where you need to be done, just so we know you're good for graduation. So let me screen share real quick, and we'll get going. Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about paying for college, and then also talking about financial institutions. Before I begin, let's just kind of run through a couple things here. One, we have our homepage. I always post our recordings here, and then we have what's coming due up here shortly. If you go to our course plan, which is the calendar, it will show you what's coming up. So today's the 19th. Looks like we need to do all of like lesson 7 and lesson 8. That's due, and you can find that in the content. So you go to content right here, you'll click it, it'll pop up like right here, and you'll want to go to lesson 7, which it looks like there's 1, 2, 3 videos and quizzes there, and 8, 1, 2, 3 there. So you got 6 that you need to do this week in order to stay pace. Okay. If you haven't done some of them yet, that's okay. Just go back and do them. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. Anyways, if you haven't been able to do them, go and do them. I'll still give you credit for it. No worries. Okay. And remember, you can do those as many times as you'd like to get the credit that you want. Okay. All right, so just a reminder, this is being recorded just for others that maybe couldn't make it, or part-time students, something like that. As we're coming along, if you just follow along on the Nearpod, raise your hand if you want to speak, and if you have any questions, or just kind of respond the first time, like in the Nearpod thing, that helps us get moving faster through so we can get through everything at a good, timely manner. You're away from the computer, if you just kind of want to let me know. Then also use the chat tool appropriately. Okay. All right. So what we're going to talk about is types of financial aid to help you with your educational costs. If you remember last class, we spoke about different options, either tech colleges or some type of training, or regular universities that you can go to. So this is a way to kind of pay for it, because it can be very expensive. And I've used most of these methods as I've been going through school. I've used basically all of them, right? Anywhere from getting a job and paying for it for myself, to getting Pell Grants, to getting scholarships, to getting student loans. Okay. A little bit of everything I've used. First thing we're going to do is we're going to watch this video. So you can watch it on your own if that's best for you, or you can watch it here. But this just tells us a little bit about some of our options. All right, so those are some of our options that we do have. So just wanted you kind of put on here. So as you're kind of thinking of it, what college do you want to go to? And do you know how you'll pay for college? Okay. So those are two questions I kind of want you to think about and post on this Nearpod here. Okay. So what college do you want to go to? Or if there's a couple, then that's fine. Um, or if you're just looking to get certain training, right? And then how do you expect to pay for that? Let's hear your thoughts. Duke University or Alabama or U of U. Very cool. Scholarships, my savings, grants, and jobs. Sounds like you're on top of it. That's awesome. I want to go to Utah State, and I'm looking at the options. Awesome. And this will kind of help you this lesson here about what options there are and stuff like that. So very good. Very good schools. Both all those things that you're kind of looking at. Any others, guys? Sure, there's more than two of you on here. There's a couple. Okay. I think I'm going to go to Broadview University. Okay, I think that may be a private institution, but yeah, they do have the same thing, like scholarships and stuff like that you can get. So very good. Pathways. I think that's BYU Idaho Pathways, right? Or just BYU Pathways. Yeah. I think those are good. They actually are setting it up now in that pathways that you can actually get certificates along the way, so you can improve your employment status as you're going, which I think is a very good idea, especially for those that are just barely getting into the workforce and need some stuff. So awesome, love it. Anybody else? Okay, well, that just gives you some ideas. If you're still kind of confused about what to kind of do, hopefully this will clarify some things here for you. So here's some sources of income that this is from 2015, so it was a little while ago. But as you can see that I've received money, I think, for all of these kind of things. I guess I've kind of borrowed from my parents too. So scholarships and grants. Okay. You got student income and savings, as they're saving and paying for it as they go through. Borrowing a little bit from your parents. Student borrowing, that means like student loans. There's also friends and relatives. Sometimes when you graduate from high school, a lot of them will give you money, which is kind of cool. But they want you to use that money for furthering your education and getting those kind of things. So those are some ways that people do it. So here's some other types. So you have grants, scholarships. Just so you know, so grants are something that you're given by the government and you do not have to pay them back. Grants, okay? You just have to make sure that you go to school, right? And so I've actually received those before. Scholarships. So I've received both private and government scholarships that kind of help for that. There are a lot of scholarships out there that you can apply for, and some you will get because you're the only one that applies for them. So there's a lot of money. It just takes the effort of filling out their applications. Okay. Loans. So student loans, they're backed by the federal government. One thing about the student loans is that well, maybe this is how that should be, but if you file for bankruptcy, your student loans do not go away. They stay with you. I know that the current government right now is looking to get rid of a lot of student loans because student loan debt can get very, very expensive, and that's what most people seem to want to go to. But I would say have your student loans try to be your last resort. Okay. Federal work study. So there's some places that you can go. For example, maybe like the Job Corps, places like that actually pay for you to go to school, and they train you in a skill, and you actually get paid while you go there too, which is pretty cool. Internships and fellowships. So you can get an internship from a certain place, a law office or place like that, and sometimes they'll fund you after you've done such a good job and stuff like that. Institution tuition waiver. So one thing that might be good, and I know my mom did this when she went to college, is she worked at the university, and they actually gave her some tuition waivers so she could go to school for free. But she still had to work for the university for a certain period of time. You also have employee benefits. So some places where you work, you can actually go and they will, after you graduate, they will reimburse you tuition and stuff like that for your school. And then there's also veterans benefits. So if you join the military, there's a lot of good, there's a lot of money out there that will have you be able to pay for it. Or if you're actually, I don't know if they've changed it, but if you are a sibling, not a sibling, I don't know, your dad or mom are in the military and they have these benefit rights, they can actually transfer to their kids. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to remember what that's under. Okay, so what is so there's what's called federal student aid. It's FAFSA is what they call it. And so there's an application that you'd fill out online to see what you actually qualify for. Okay. What you need to know, okay? During FAFSA, you must file every year in college that you go, okay? So you can actually start filing your senior, like October, I believe, of your senior year of high school to apply. Oh yeah, it says right there, October 1st of your senior year of high school to see what you can get, okay? Depending on where you're at, your situation, you're both your parent may have to help you fill it out with you. If you're still a dependent and live with them, then it will go under some of their income status. Okay, the earlier you do it, the better. Do you have to be a senior or just be graduating? Yeah, the year of your graduation. So if you're graduating this year and you're a junior, you could fill it out as long as you're graduating. Yeah, good question. Okay, and so it's something that you don't have to take what they give you, but they'll give you options. They'll give you how much they'd give you in a student loan. You do have to have a couple institutions like colleges in mind that you're thinking about going to in order to apply. Okay, so you can't be like undecided. You have to like say, I'm thinking about going here, 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 and then they'll give you options. And it's the amount of money they'll grant you is kind of based upon how much the living cost. They'll ask you if you're going to live on campus or off campus, stay at home, that kind of stuff. So be thinking in mind what some options are. Okay, so how do you apply? You just have to go to FAFSA.gov, so FAFSA.gov. And what you'll do here is you'll go here and you can just start a new FAFSA. One thing that I kept forgetting was my login. So you don't want to start a new one every time. So make sure that you start that FAFSA and then you remember your PIN and everything that they give you, because it'll be important going forward. Since you have to do it every year, you have to apply for it every year. Okay. So there's also other things that you can do by calling their the number. They'll ask you for these things, but really, this was super helpful for me to get through college. I needed the grants. I needed a little bit of the scholarships too. And I only took kind of what I needed. And now it's gotten me to a lot better place. So, okay, that's the last thing we're going to be talking about in regards to how to pay for college. The next section that we're going to be going over was called financial institutions comparison. And so let's play this video and then we'll discuss a little bit. All right, so that kind of gives us a little bit of financial institutions and what they are. Our next class is going to go over some more financial institutions, such as insurance, that kind of stuff. But what we're going to do now is if you can draw, so what you'll do is you'll use your drawing tool and you're going to draw. What do you know about the difference between credit unions versus a bank. So I'm going to flip over to student view so I can show you how to write on this. It should be fairly simple. So this should be the view that you're seeing, and at the bottom here, you should have access to either type, and you can come right here and you can move the box from one place to another. You know, for example, a bank has fees, okay, monthly fees to have an account. Monthly fees, okay. You know, a credit union. Oh, I have to click this again. So we just go here, a credit union, we can put over here, like a credit union has, is owned by its members. Okay, so I'll switch back to teacher view or whatever just to see, but let's see what some of you guys have came up with in regards to the difference. Okay, so I said private. Good. Looks like some of you are still in process, so I'll let you work through those things for a second, and then I can review those later. Good. When you're finished, make sure you just submit so we know. So I know you're done. Good. Okay, so if you just want to finish up real quick and submit what you have, that would be great. Okay, so we're going to move on now. Okay, so some different institutions that maybe you've heard of. As I said, in our next lessons, we're going to go over more into detail about some financial institutions. But you may have heard of like Far West Bank, First Security, U.S. Bank, SunFirst Bank, Zions Bank, State Bank of Southern Utah, Heritage Bank, Zions Bank, a lot of things. This one has Zions Bank on here. Central Bank, Far West Bank, AM Bank. There's just so many different institutions out there. I'm thinking about ones that I do stuff at. I mean, I do America First Credit Union, Golden West Credit Union, Wells Fargo. So many different ones that you can kind of do for. But it's like, how do you use them? And how to use them to the best advantage for you, right? So here's some things that you may not know, difference between a checking account and a savings account. So a checking account sometimes has a monthly fee if you're at a bank, okay? There's a minimum balance you have to keep in there. You can get interest as you keep your money in there. There are some overdraft protections. You can do ATM. There's ATM fees for pulling out an ATM. Internet banking, online bill pay, and other services. A savings account, you have to have a minimum balance to open. You get interest. You can write checks through there. ATM fees at the bank, ATM fees at other banks. And there's also a lot of other things that you can kind of do. So, all right, that kind of ends us for today. As I said, we're going to go into more detail about financial institutions next time. But remember, for this week, you need to do modules 7 and 8. Oh, and of course, it's logging out on me. So make sure you get there 7, 8 for paying for college, and then also talking about this one, which is financial institutions that we went over. Okay. All right. That ends us for today. I'll stick around if you guys have any questions. If not, you guys are free to go. basically your exit tickets to do those assignments, okay? Lesson 7 or module 7 and 8. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. See ya.